Boogie, drop that beat.
Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Talking Out Loud with Miss Talkative. Everything I say is my own opinion, alleged, and strictly entertainment purposes. Remember, I'm just talking out loud. Please like, share, subscribe, comment on the video, let me know what you think. I would like to speak on Married to Medicine and the Dr. Contessa leaving, Nyla leaving. Now, I'm not upset about Nyla leaving. I don't have any, ill feelings towards that. I believe that she needed to go. She didn't fit well with the other castmates, especially when she started trying to accuse people of breaking in her house and trying to call people out by name. And even if it was told to her by somebody else, she's putting people's name out there on the show to the public. And these are this person is a respectable doctor, has a respectable business, and how is people supposed to trust them going forward? And they're a black couple, and he's a a black doctor, a black man, and for her to insinuate that they would, and I'm not naming their name on purpose, because I thought that it was like very, very distasteful for her to start calling their name out on the show, stating that they staged or had something to do with the break-in of her house. So yes, when she started allegations like that, because of somebody telling her something, then yes, I feel as though that it's time for her to go, because here we go yet again with someone making up stories because they don't have a storyline. And I'm not saying that her house break-in was staged, but for you to take it that far, if you don't know, you just say you don't know and keep it moving. But for you to put somebody else's name, and for you to put a name on it without the evidence to back it up, I feel like that was like that was wrong on so many levels to this couple. Now, Dr. Contessa, I did like Dr. Contessa. Well, I do. I'm not gonna say did. I do like Dr. Contessa. I felt as though her husband, he kind of irked me a little bit, because how he treated her, and I was glad to see that they were able to work through that, and get back to a happy place, and where he was supporting her. I did see where he went to her her competition for, I believe it was her bodybuilders competition, and when I tell you, she did amazing with losing the weight and everything, and getting her body in shape for the swimsuit and everything. She did phenomenal. And I hated that they spent so much time with her and Dr. Heavenly going back and forth, arguing over what she said to Dr. Heavenly versus what Dr. Heavenly put out about Dr. Contessa and her husband, because I felt as though there was much more. Her husband has, is a doctor, and as well as she's a doctor, and they were, they had their own, well, they were sharing office space and stuff like that, and I thought that was interesting to see how their work dynamics were, and outside of all of the drama surrounding their marriage, shedding their marriage in a negative light. I would have liked to see more of their practice. I was really interested in the type of medicine that they practice, because it wasn't the normal hospital, inside the hospital and stuff like that. And by them having their own practice, I mean, we do get a chance to see Dr. Jackie's practice a lot on the show. So I wanted to see more of Dr. Contessa, and it seems like soon as they got back, her and her husband got back to their happy place, that they, just cut them out. I don't know if it was her idea to walk away, her and her husband's idea to walk away, or they just didn't get their contracts renewed. I don't know, but I wish that we could have seen more of them. I hate that they're not going to be on the show anymore. Because if anybody needed to leave, to me, it would have been Quad. I feel like Quad is just like a Neela, but worse, because Quad is not showing anything of her life, but she will make up stories about everybody else on the cast, and she has so much hatred for Toya, and it's okay to dislike a person. I'm not saying you have to like everybody you work with, you have to like every cast member because you're on the show with them, but her hatred for Toya is so ridiculous that she's making up stories. She made up a story about them driving drunk with the kids in the car, all types of stories, and she just don't care what she say, what comes out of her mouth, whether it's truth or not. And she's always, oh, someone told her, so it can never come back on her. And my thing is, if it's not true, then don't say it, because again, this show is it showcase doctors, and for you to put stuff out there like that, I feel as though that you just trying to mess up their business or whatever, and trying to have them showcased in a bad light. And if you leave people alone long enough and let them talk, if it's some bad light to be shown, it'll be shown. You do not have to go and make up rumors about people to make them look bad, put them down, to rise your star, to make you look good. Just show yours, and trust me, whatever they have underneath the surface, the rug will be pulled from up under them as well. But for her, Quad, she does this, and it's like, okay, Quad, enough is enough. And she went too far by helping Anila, or Nyla, whatever her name is, helping her with the burglary investigation or whatever. And I'm like, no, this lady has gone too far. She really needs to go. So I wish they had kept Contessa and her husband, and just did away with Quad. She's not married, and I know, and I understand. When she came on the show, she was married, or so I can understand why she's on the show. But to me, she's bringing no assets to the show. I mean, yes, the drama is okay, but at the same time, the drama that she's bringing could also bring potential lawsuits. Because if I was Toya, and they would have been saying different things like that about me and my husband, yes, we would be in some type of court, because my husband is a doctor, and for you to throw them allegations around, my husband can possibly lose his medical license. It's like, quiet. Are you thinking, or are you thinking, and you know this already? I mean, because of course you got to know this, because you got to let everybody know how smart you are, that you graduated, college, everything like that. You have to throw everything out there with your 2-3 hour long speeches. So again, I believe that Quad does this on purpose. It's not a slip of the tongue or anything like that. She does this on purpose, and I feel as though that her staying on the show is going to potentially lead to some type of lawsuit because her mouth is so reckless. I do not. Mm, I don't care to see Phaedra Parks coming on the show. I don't care if she is dating a doctor. I don't really care. I did not care for her on Real Housewives of Atlanta. And most people are entertained by her because they feel as though that she, can clap back and this, that, and the third. I don't know. I just don't like her. And one of the reasons I don't like her, she's not, to me, she's not that entertaining. She do have some, pretty sleek clapbacks sometimes. Not all the time. Some land, some don't to me. But I just don't care for her. And then it's like she put herself on a pedestal. She's another one that put herself up on a pedestal and try to bring everybody down. But yet when you were on Atlanta Housewives, you were married to a criminal that got out of jail and went right back to being a criminal. And I'm like, you're a lawyer. Lawyers do investigation for a living. You are nosy for a living. You dig for a living. And you mean to tell me that you being a lawyer, investigator, all this other stuff, you didn't know that your husband was involved in this money laundering, or white collar crime, or whatever he was doing, and then which led him back in jail again. And from what I hear, per Angela Stanton, I believe that's her name, she tells you all about, she's been raving about it since she got out of jail or whatever, stating that Phaedra was the ringleader. I don't know if Phaedra was the ringleader, but I'm not going to say that I don't believe that Phaedra knew what her husband was doing. And I'm not going to say that Phaedra didn't participate, because my thing is, if the type of lawyer she is, she's not a good lawyer. Bobby Brown, she was Bobby Brown's lawyer, allegedly. And how many times did he go to jail? Every single time. Now, I don't know if she was his lawyer every time he went to jail, but she was Bobby Brown lawyer, and he wound up going to jail. And then when it was time for her to defend Sheree against Bob, who's not a lawyer, he was representing himself, Phaedra got spanked in court. I said, are you serious? No. Not the prominent lawyer. We never heard of her practicing a case. The first case that we see her in court with is Sheree's court case, and she is, embarrassed. I was embarrassed for her. I was embarrassed for Sheree. I mean, I thought she was finna go in there and be everybody says she the queen of clapbacks and this, that, and the other. I thought she was finna be doing her little slick talking or whatever. And it was like, what just happened? So I really don't really want to see Phaedra on the show. When she was on Real Housewives of Atlanta, all she did was lie. She would lie so much till she never could tell the exact due date for her baby. And I know the due dates are, sometimes off or whatever. They may be off a week, two, something like that. But hers was off by months. And each time someone asked her, it changed so much. Each time you ask her about the marriage, the birth of her child, everything was all screwed up. And by her being a lawyer, you would think that even if she is lying, she would know how to put the story together well to make it fit. I'm like, I see why Bobby Brown went to jail. I see why how Bob got over on her in court. because she cannot put the story together right. You a lawyer that can't lie right. Most lawyers know how to lie right because they got to, make you believe them beyond a reasonable doubt. And she just not that believable with any of her lies. It's like you can see right through them. And then um when somebody do find her out and start telling her truth, um she likes to try to put people down or whatever. And I just feel like she always tried to measure herself up to be this southern belle, but yet you're dating this criminal. So but you I'm like, lady, make it make sense. Where's your mentality? And I understand, people sometimes, the good girls go after bad boys, whatever, but you a whole lawyer. And what this man is involved in, you if you found out that you're involved in it, you can lose your license. And you didn't do no investigation or, anything like that. Nobody should have had to tell her what her husband was doing, especially the second time around. And I understand you have to stand by your man, trust your man, or whatever, but at what expense? At what expense? You knew this man wasn't coming up with this money um just off the top of his head. So I feel like she knew what he was doing. The criminal activity, either she was participating in it or she just was taking a blind eye because and no love is that great. You're a lawyer and you are a public figure. You're on TV. And it was like if he hadn't got caught, he would have still you would have allowed him to continue doing the foul mess that he was doing. And that's why I just really don't care for Phaedra. She is, to me, a fake Phaedra the fake. And I just can't put it no plain or simple. So my thing is, her coming on Married to Medicine, I really don't want to see her. I don't care who are hyped up to see her or whatever. I'm just not. Never have, never will be, because the things that she was doing on Real Housewives of Atlanta is just going to bring it. She's just going to bring the same tools over to Married to Medicine. And them women over there, they have their problems or whatever. They have their issues, but nothing like what Phaedra is doing or whatever. And I believe Phaedra and Quad, they're going to try to gang up on Toya. Quad wants. I'm sorry. They're going to try to gang up on Toya to get her off, and I believe that Quad will stop at nothing to try to get Toya off the show. For some reason, this lady just hates Toya, and I believe Phaedra will try to. Her and Quad will team up together, and with Phaedra being a lawyer and they already got other people trying to turn against Toya, I just feel like enough is enough. I feel like Toya do her job, whatever. And I actually like Toya. I really like Toya. I don't care how many times they move. Every time she move, the house is, every house she moved to is beautiful. If she want to rent, let her rent. I don't feel as though she's asking anybody else to pay their bills and stuff like that. And at some point in time, they'll figure it out. They'll realize that they need to go head on and pick a house and live in it and build some equity and things of that nature before they sell it or anything of that nature. But at the same time, they're doing what they want to do. And I feel like her and her husband are, they're entertaining or whatever, and they're not afraid to speak about their issues. And Quad, for you to not be able to speak about your issues, but lie about other people issues or whatever about what you heard, and then you plant seeds in other people's head, to have your little puppets on the show, your ventriloquist, that's speaking what you want to say. I feel like that is just so wrong, and for them to allow you to get away with it, I don't think you should be able to. And I feel like Quad should have been the one to go. Quad and Anila should have been the one to go, and Contessa should have stayed, and Phaedra should have never been invited. They should have picked another couple to come. And I'm also excited to see Dr. G and his fiance, see what type of dynamics they have. From their Instagram, it seems like they are, they're a good couple, they're a good match, and things of that nature. So I'm pretty excited to see how their dynamics work out on the show. And not because I want to see them go up against Quad or anything like that, but I feel as though it will be a little bit uneasy, and Quad will try to, I hope Quad don't try to sabotage their marriage or their engagement or anything like that because of her hatred spirit. And yes, I do feel as though she have a hatred spirit, and she always pick somebody to zero in on and have have a vendetta against, and try to mess their life up. And that's why I don't feel as though Quad deserves a spot on the show. It's just my opinion. I'm just talking out loud. Please like, share, subscribe, comment on the video. Let me know what you think.